as the island spirals deeper into the chaos of Superman's powers and a threat of swarm-level proportions. So get comfy, because all the pieces of the puzzle still refuse to come together. But if you stick around till the end of this video, it'll all start to make sense. Let's start with the obvious question. Where did all these superpowers come from? Remember that moment in the trailer? The explosion where a chunk of the Death Star hit the island and triggered a massive shockwave? That wave wasn't random. It was raw energy straight from the spirit realm. Energy from the epicenter. And it might be tied to the 0-point shard and Daigo's broken portal. Think back to Chapter 2, Season 5 down. No one's turning into Slurpogs, but they are waking up with insane powers. Except, well, not all of them. One unfortunate Jonesy variant mutated into a lizard-chameleon hybrid. No powers, just bug snacks and long tongue problems. But now it gets real. The Supernova Academy, run by Jones and Hope, is training loopers to control these powers. Think Xavier's School, Fortnite Edition, get wrecked. And guess who's behind it? Yep, Daigo. The very place that was meant to be our secret weapon against the darkness? He's about to tear it to the ground. And if even Superman can't stop him, yeah, you know we're in trouble. I mean, let's be real. Supes is invincible. Even Bass Boost can't scratch him. But Daigo? He's on another level. If you've got any theories why Superman isn't stepping in, drop it in the comments. This could be leading to a full-blown mini-event, especially with that upgraded Daigo model glowing with Kintsugi energy. We've seen this before, like with Doom's cracked mask before his boss fight. So here's the theory. After getting juiced by Spirit Realm power, Daigo's ready to strike, and his first target is the Academy. But don't panic just yet. Even if the school falls, that doesn't mean the new heroes are gone. Some are already teased in the latest trailer, so if you're planning to grab all new supers, make sure to use my creator code. But let's get back to Daigo. The guy's completely lost it. At this point, he's doing more damage than Megalodon and Doom combined. That prophecy just came true. In his obsession to prove himself, he repeated the same mistakes as the Shogun and Rose, and became a puppet. And here's the heartbreaking part. Every time you defeat the corrupted Daigo, he snaps out of it for a moment. He apologizes, begs Kendo and Jade for help. You can literally hear the regret in his voice. He finally realized maybe playing Lone Wolf Sigma wasn't the move. Maybe he should have sided with Jones and Hope from the start. Now that he's consumed Spirit Realm energy, Kintsugi is basically on steroids. You can see it in his gold-lined suit and the mysterious spires feeding off the island. Speaking of which, no one knows why Daigo is draining Oninoshima's spirit energy. But if the unknown Shogun was doing the same, it's clearly tied to the Dark Plan. Here, parts of the island are literally starting to rot. Snow's creeping in from the south, and trees near the moss are withering like it's autumn. Some might say it's just a seasonal visual update. But what if it's not? What if Daigo is leeching the life out of Oninoshima, turning it into a wasteland? Hope even calls it out in-game. She says the island's turning darker and stranger. We've seen this before, back when especially if more locations start to decay. And did you catch that cinematic moment where Daigo's portal tries to pierce the zero reality bubble? That barrier's supposed to protect the island from outside threats. It used to cause memory loss and time loops, but now it works differently. Or maybe Charlie just gave up explaining it. Still, that bubble needs the 0 point to exist. It's woven from its energy, so if the 0 point goes, so does our last line of defense. According to the latest leak, and so far, it's been dead on, the next season will revolve around an alien insect invasion. If Daigo breaks the barrier, wave after wave of bugs, we've seen a glimpse of these creatures in the Batman crossover. Realities filled with insectoid monsters swarming the multiverse. And now the big question, is this alien swarm part of the Dark Plan? I'm not sure yet. It's hard to see a direct link between demon lords and bug aliens, but in Fortnite, anything's possible. Or maybe, we're missing the bigger picture. What if the darkness is from Deep Space 2? It's way too early to say if the last reality is involved, but we definitely can't rule it out. I mean, it would explain why the darkness is hoarding epicenter fragments like rare loot drops. But now, let's get to the... And not with some random fish stick or second-rate sidekick. No, she's teamed up with Midas. Yeah, that Midas. Secret Vault. There are more fragments out there than we thought. So far, we've only seen the biggest one, locked away in the Spirit Realm, and claimed by the darkness. A few smaller ones were even reforged into Daigo's blades. But what if there are still pieces scattered around the island that no one's found yet? This could be setting the stage for the next chapter, hopping across different realities, collecting every last 0 point shard. A perfect excuse to revamp the map, without messing up the storyline. But either way, Hope and Midas believe this vault could protect the fragments from any threat, especially from darkness and whatever else is out there hunting them down. Still, this is Midas we're talking about, and after everything he pulled under the Loop's nose, would you really trust him with the fate of the multiverse? For now, he's sponsoring the Academy, helping Jones and Hope, and keeping a low profile, so technically we're all on the same team. But I've got a feeling this vault project is hiding way more than they're letting on. And something tells me we're about to find out exactly what. Here's the real kicker, the portal in Utopia City. It's directly linked to the vault. Yeah, that vault. But now, pay attention. That portal to the vault dimension reveals what actually happened to the epicenter after the Big Bang. She could also help patch up a ton of those storyline holes we've been stuck with since the end of Chapter 3. And remember, the whole to solving these mysteries is the final scene of the Galactic Battle season. We saw a beam bursting out of the spirit realm, trying to shatter the Loop's bubble from the inside. And crazy part? This isn't even the first time we've seen it. Back in Chapter 6 Season 2, Daigo was already firing those massive dark energy blasts into the sky, slowly breaking the Loop without us even realizing it. But the real question is, why is the Chapter 6 island even trapped in a reality bubble to begin with? But before I tell you, dear loopers, don't forget to use the best creator code in the multiverse. Speaking of multiverse, let's rewind to the Fracture event that kicked off Chapter 4. That's when the 0 point teleported into an unknown reality. And based on everything we know, the reality bubble always follows the 0 point. So now the question is, could it have landed in reality 783? Let's remember, back in Chapter 3, the bubble and the island together made up reality 0. It kept both islands stable and protected the 0 point at the same time. So now that we've got both an island and a loop on Oninoshima, there's a solid chance the 0 point is here too.
Maybe that's why the 0 shard showed up, like it's returning to its source. You know what they say? Everything goes back to where it came from. And maybe, just maybe, the 0 point is slowly rebuilding itself from all the scattered pieces. And here's where it gets wild. Oninoshima? Yeah, it existed long before the Big Bang. My theory, when the 0 shard arrived here, it created the reality bubble around the island as a defense mechanism. And it happened the moment it got dragged into the spirit realm.
That actually makes a ton of sense. The shard was totally defenseless after the demons captured it.
Sound used to forge weapons. Remember those mysterious panels Jonesy used to summon the greatest hunters from across all realities? Well, who knows what purpose they'll serve in Chapter 6. Meanwhile, the Spirit Realm portal explosion didn't just shake the island. It unleashed a massive energy pulse. This blast didn't just grant everyone on the island superpowers. It also brought the demon's domain, led by none other than the mask maker, Daigo, right into the world of Fortnite.
And now, he's slowly draining the island's energy, deep beneath Daigo's. And here's the creep a second, and he begs Kendo and Jade to free him, but at the same time telling that they can't stop the darkness. None of us can. Chills, right? But wait, it gets even darker. Night Rose just dropped some brutal lore fuel. She was once possessed too, just like Daigo, and she describes the dark presence as a creature born of malice and ambition. Malice, the desire to cause pain and suffering. Ambition, the hunger for control, no matter the cost. Let's pause on Rose for a second. She used to serve as a lieutenant of the Spirit Realm during the era of Shogun X. But now, Daigo's taken command. And her old role as lieutenant of the Demon Army? It's been filled by Core. We don't know much about Core, except for one thing. She's sworn to the darkness. Back in Chapter 2, Season 8, she was a hired assassin with mysterious ties to the Imagined Order. But now, she's something else entirely. What happened to her inside the Spirit Realm? What did she face? We don't know yet, but hopefully we'll get answers soon. What we do know is a new squad of heroes is rising to face Core and the demon threat. They're called Supernova. So where did these superpowered newcomers even come from? Well, Based on the new season trailer, it looks like Superman himself saved them. And now the entire crew is settled at the Supernova Academy, funded by none other than Midas. But the trailer hinted there are many more gifted individuals out there. Superhero School. Each of them has their own room, their own office. To help control their powers, the heroes needed a coach. And surprisingly, that role went to Night Rose, who, according to Hope, is seriously putting them through the ringer. But here's the catch. Who's the leader of this whole team? Every squad needs one, right? But Supernova? No captain. And honestly, that's kind of leader. That's all we know for now. But with how important Supernova is to the story, it's hard to believe they'll just vanish after Season 3. Plus, we've still got some wild mysteries to solve, like the shadowy figures stalking more. You can actually see the 0 point. But here's the strange part. That can't be the Chapter 6 0 point, because it's shattered. We've been running around the island collecting the last video. Fortnite linked Battle Royale to LEGO Fortnite. That's why those Overlord spires started popping up in Odyssey. And now, there's a whole new expedition mode that's literally let us progress the Battle Royale story from inside LEGO Fortnite. And how do we know these modes are connected? Easy. Same spires, same bosses, and both seasons dropped on the same day. Even wilder, they both end on the exact same day too. We're talking LEGO, Battle Royale, and OG mode all tied together. But now the real question is, what's the connection between Battle Royale and Fortnite OG? What's the actual link between those islands?